Oh,
Okay, well, the meeting was called together and we're well into it, but we were just talking about digital presence. So Matt, how are things going on that front?
Yeah, I wish I could have be better about posting on there. During lacrosse season, which has been the past few months,
Yes.
was pretty swamped with coaching and everything else. So it hasn't been super active. For a while, I was keeping up with it really well. Michelle was sending me all the stuff that she wanted to get out there.
Yeah.
She has created a Barre City rec page, you know, so she doesn't need the Civic Center page as much. But I think I can chat with her about making sure if she's posting about any events, I could also post it on our Civic Center page.
Yep.
To
Is
get,
there a way to link that? I mean, where she posts, it would show up on us. I don't know if she'd want.
yeah,
to do that.
I have to look into how she's doing it a little bit closer, but like I know when, certain, like if the Coyotes post about something going on in the Civic Center, they can tag the Civic Center and then we're sort of included in that. So I can make sure that, she's doing that too.
Yeah, I mean, they're different kind of purposes of them. You know, she's
Right.
more rec, we're kind of more activities in the history of the building and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if she's hosting something up here, it would make sense to put that on our page too.
Yep, 100%.
But yeah,
Okay, do you have content? Does, I know Sue gave you a bunch of stuff. Is that?
yeah, we went
that?
through all of that. And so it may be good to connect with her again, 'cause she had some ideas about drumming up some content.
Yeah.
I think when she's back,
Yeah.
I could chat with her about, drawing out some stories.
old pictures, because there's a ton of pictures over there.
Yeah,
Down at my office.
yeah, I've seen some of those old pictures that could be cool, to kind of talk about.
Physical pictures, digital, so we'd have
Have
to
to scan, but I can use my phone and it scans pretty well with my phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, like I said, I think Sue would be a good person to collaborate with or something like that.
She has a lot of that stuff. She
Yeah.
enjoys that, so.
Yeah,
These, there's a ton of old programs up in the office up there.
like basketball.
From the basketball tournaments.
Yeah,
over the
those
years.
those would be good to like collect. And then, the closer you get to the tournament, start putting them out.
Worked for Hardwick Academy 1963.
I think Sue showed me a couple of those. Did you play? Wow.
That's why you're looking for
What was that, 1863?
it. That's what people around this day.
They still have the peach basket.
She had me send a picture.
I'd use the broom to.
She had me send a picture
Pick them all
from my
out of the
JV team.
Peach basket, yeah.
You know that? She
What's
got a
that?
picture of my JV team. And she had asked me to send it, and it's one of those back when you wore your shorts way up to here.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Uh-huh.
I think she's holding it as evidence or something. I
Yes,
don't know.
blackmail
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, the amount of leg showing between the shorts and the socks hasn't changed. It's just
Yeah, drop down.
dropped down,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
it's not saying that is a bad thing.
So, okay, well, all that stuff is great. Definitely, they don't want to put it all on Matt's shoulders, so, if anyone else has any stuff that can dig up and send to Matt, that'll be good.
There's a woman that approached me, Susan Perry, that I think her husband was involved with basketball or whatever. Anyways, it's been a while back, but she was talking to me about basketball programs. And I didn't know if somebody wanted to talk to the
What's your name?
Susan Perry.
I think that's my cousin. Her husband was Paul Perry. He worked for Booth. When Booth was a big sponsor, they had tickets for their employees, and the CI came for every game they've ever had, I think.
Well, she was asking me if I thought anybody would want
I'll ask if that's her. I'll check with her and see if that was her. She had like programs or,
Yeah,
all right. I bet
did
that
he
is
say,
her.
do you want her phone number?
Yeah, cause I might have it, but you never know.
802. Four
Shake-
seven nine.
Paula. It's, give it to him after the meeting.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
just go to them.
Okay,
thanks.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, I think,
Yep.
yeah, permissions exactly.
That's why I don't mind it when nothing's off. Okay, but I mean, if she has some old stuff, I think it'd be great to collect and we'll go from there.
yeah, history museum, I don't, they might want something.
Yeah, I think those old pictures are great. Okay, do you need any help? Is there anything that we can do to support this matter?
Yeah, I think any sort of old pictures or anything like that that you have, that you can send to me, or at least. Yeah, those are the kind of stories that people like, and it sort of drives engagement. I mean, the events and everything are great. Especially the ones that are open to the public, you know, for people to come and see. Um. But the ones that I see that get like comments and likes and shares, a lot of those are about, you know, the history and. Like, Sue shared a bunch of pictures about when Norwich came and did that study.
Yep.
Yep.
And like some of the findings there, and people were commenting on it and asking kind of what's going on there. I guess a cool thing could be like the renovations. If there are any, I don't know, progress pictures, or anything like that, that we could share, we could definitely push that out and say, hey, you know, we're,
Yep.
you know, our country is investing in the auditorium, which would be pretty cool.
I agree, and it's a good way to get that out to the public and have them, you know, feel good about the project.
Yeah,
Are you planning on taking pictures on kind of a daily basis and?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Documenting that.
anything that you have, if you text it to me, Kevin, if not, I can,
The only thing we have right now are the drawings.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that progress soon. Okay, anyone else got anything for our kind of our digital presence or digital work? Okay, perfect. Auditorium upgrade. project.
Alright, the plans and specs are all off the USDA getting reviewed. We just posted the clerk of the works RFP yesterday. Hope to have that in place, that person selected by the time the review process is done.
Yeah, that might be a hard position to find, I would think. Maybe not. It's temporary, it's short, it's for, you know, it's full time,
It's
correct?
full-time for the length of the project, which is now well into December.
Anybody encourage Steve McKenzie to?
I know there was talk about that. I
Yeah.
don't know if anyone reached out to Steve.
I mentioned it to him.
His name may be also in the mix for, fill-in city manager, so.
Yeah, has people talked to him about that? I mean, he must know that, I think. Yeah. So I think that would be.
So much for retirement.
Yeah, now he's got 2 jobs.
Then. So we're that, and then we're ready. Once we get that approval,
Yeah,
bid process and looking
Yeah.
to start.
yeah. So you mentioned well into December,
It's
is
gonna be
that
into
for the usage,
I'm
facility
told
shutting
we have to
down?
have the building ready for Thanksgiving. Has to be able to be used.
Right,
But
so there,
if the boilers aren't up and running, we've got plan B of temporary heat.
right,
Um,
right,
If it's the new bathrooms, downstairs bathrooms, we can close that section off. Still use the rest of the building. But we have to be open for this, for November.
okay, so you're still planning on being open in November,
Yeah,
for some of the shows that are going on.
for the craft fair.
Crash show, yeah,
Yeah,
but still have crews here working
we may
in
have,
tandem.
depending, because I will admit, I had no clue how long it takes to get stuff through the federal
Oh,
road.
it's brutal.
It is absolutely brutal.
It's brutal. We're normally starting projects when they were supposed to be done. You know, and it's just their review process is that strenuous. So it's pain in the ass, in the French.
And getting answers is insane.
Yeah.
We got one clear, concise answer, two. Yeah. Usually they'll spout off a regulation. Okay. What's that mean?
Well, it's the back and forth. The architect says this and the engineer says, no, you can't do that. And it's gotta go back and report back and
Yeah.
forth. So
But
that takes forever.
I think we've got a pretty good set of plans handed to them. So it shouldn't be a whole lot of.
Right, so the plans are in, they're submitted to
Yeah,
USDA.
The historic preservation has to get a letter. They're gonna review the plans and send a letter to USDA.
So there's a portion of the work that has to be done once you start to get the craft show in here. I mean, all the electrical.
Right,
you know, has
that's,
to be done. If
my
that's not done.
understanding is that's not a long lead time item. Just gonna be a matter of,
Okay, well, they probably haven't picked the contractors yet, have they?
I think Norway and Sons, right?
Norway and Sons is the electrical contractor on the design build, so they're picked. Believe New England Air is also on the design build team. I believe they're in on it.
Okay.
A little construction stuff may get bidded out and then depending on,
Most of it they're doing with Air Forces.
yeah. And again, most of the work is done by those two companies who already are very familiar with the project. Like I said, the boilers are the long lead time item.
So when do they expect to hear from USDA? You guys don't know.
They said anywhere from 2 weeks to 30 days, so
In the
sometime this month. They got it on the 1st. Or the 30th, something like that. So
And then when they get that approval, they're pretty much ready to roll.
we have to have a pre-construction meeting.
Yeah,
And then we can roll, but we should be able to. Go right ahead, and we were told, I don't know if I said this last time. That we're not allowed to use city money to pre-purchase anything. Or we risk losing the grant.
I haven't heard that. So you can't use city money for
I can't,
anything.
the money that we got allocated from this improvement fund. I can't use that to buy the boilers. Without risking the rest of the grant. Even though it's not coming out of federal money.
Even though we were gonna match some of it.
Yeah, that was the one answer I got, was a definitive no.
So what does that mean? So anything.
That means we have to wait for them to approve everything and then we can buy.
Right, so you can get a quote on something, you gotta send them the quote, they have to approve it, and then you can buy it.
They have to approve the plans.
Yeah.
And it's not so much quote, really,
Okay, so they don't have to approve the prices, they just have to approve.
the plans and stuff, and make sure what we get, what's spec meets the Buy America, Build America. Which is not a problem except for the heat pumps, because no one in the US makes them. But they said, we know that, and everybody gets that waiver, and it's pretty much, my understanding is that's a standard waiver that you turn it in, they go plunk.
Right, you have to make best efforts to buy American, if you can't buy American, then you can
Yeah,
go
they,
outside.
USDA is the one that said, no one in US makes heat pumps.
Right.
So they pretty much said that's a given, every project is putting them in.
Right.
They fill out the form, we know it.
Okay, well, that's why things take a long time. sometimes I wonder how anything gets
You
built.
can order stuff, right, and just not pay for it for 6 months or whatever.
Yes, yes, the vendors might not appreciate that. So lots of hoops to go through.
Uh-huh.
You know, we have a November date that we're really hoping to meet. We will see how long it drags out. Hopefully we can make that. And then we're still, you know, we still cut some of the things like the locker rooms. There was some talk, I think, about looking for some grants or additional monies for that. Is there anything the city's thinking of doing or on additional funds for this?
Nothing's been presented to the council about it.
Do you think they would entertain something, or is the budget so jacked up that?
Well, the
Yeah.
budget's jacked up, but, there's always a possibility there might be a grant out there.
Is there anybody looking
We
for?
don't
grants?
really have, that's the other thing, we don't really have a grant writer, so.
And we're getting rid of, you know, city managers leaving soon, I believe,
17th.
17th.
Next Friday.
Next Friday, and no one else, no intern is official yet.
We find out on Tuesday. Right, Jeff?
Believe there'll be a decision on Tuesday, but
I mean, the locker room. Just, I wanted to have them done, and that was the first thing we started talking about. If it goes 6 months from now or something, and we can find a grant or somebody to look for grants.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, like I said, the locker rooms renovation is a contained,
right, so you could do that anytime.
you can do that anytime. Just close off that portion of the building, the rest of the building could still be operational.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. It's always nice to tackle things in big, you know, bigger scopes. It costs more money eventually when you piece it out, so. Okay, well, that makes sense. It's quite a project. So, and there's a lot of players involved and you got the government involved
And the
and,
government, that's,
you know. it's,
That slows everything down.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, does anyone else have any questions or anything to add about the upgrade project? Make a record time here. Jim, parking report?
How about a little good news? 2.5, 3 months ago, Matt sent me a email saying that he attended an event over at Norwich University, a wrestling event of some sorts, and he gave me an address to make a contact that maybe persons of that group might want to have a different venue. So after a couple of weeks and a couple of emails, I was able to get in touch with, by way of email, Vermont USA Wrestling. And nothing percolated up to the top, but they do have some interest in the possibility of coming to the Barre Auditorium, so. With everything that's going to happen in there, who knows when they come, if they do come, but at least they know who we are now, and I've had a couple of email exchanges with them.
Was there any affiliation with the wrestling group that came in here before?
No idea.
No, I mean, that was the VPA that came in here before for the championships there.
Oh, yeah.
This is USA Wrestling. I mean, I didn't actually attend this. I just saw pictures of it. But they, there's USA Lacrosse, USA Hockey,
Mhm.
It's like a youth sports
Organization.
organization. I think it goes through high school.
Sort of like an AAU type.
Yeah, exactly. And they had their sort of state of Vermont tournament in Plumley Armory in Northfield. They would love to do that in the odd, I imagine,
yeah,
well.
we can run with Plumley Armory, definitely.
Yeah.
We can outrun Plumley Armory.
Right, exactly. I mean, I don't know what the cost is over there or whatever, but I think just the venue here would be cool and it's like spring, I believe, is when they did it, this past year, it's just a few months ago.
Yeah.
Which could be good, if a lot of these renovations aren't finished by then and there's a little bit of air conditioning or whatever, like, that could work out really well.
Yeah,
Anyway, so we'll see.
Great contact.
the reference to the Vermont high school folks, this year, they're on as I understand it, and help me out, please, if I'm going down the wrong road, but as I understand it, working with the VPA, the high school state wrestling tournament is on a 4-year basis. And it's involved geographically, whatever the case may be, but I know CVU is one of the venues, but so are we, as in the auditorium, and this year it's our turn to host it again in March. And as you may recall, 2 years ago when it was here, I have nothing to do with that, but a real good friend of mine was the wrestling coach forever at Essex Junction High School, and there's a Mike Baker Award. So anyway, point being is CVU, possibly Otter Valley, I know us, and maybe someone down south. So we're working on that. Another poker that's in the fire. Each year there's a north-south all-star basketball game for women and men that's played in the latter part of March, and forever it's been at Windsor High School. And the gentleman who was associated with that was a longtime coach out of Mount Anthony, Dave Fredrickson. He has now retired. So I'm working with the women's coach of D1 Mount Mansfield High School, which won the state championship this past March, to see if we can do an alternate between Windsor High School and the Barre Auditorium. I mean, that's floating around. I don't know if that will happen or not, but they've got to keep plugging away. Moving on, we did get approval, and it is in the process of getting ordered. Oh my goodness sakes. Who has the mats in the auditorium?
Oh, that's
Mutual.
United.
No.
Union Mutual.
Union Mutual. Well, Union Mutual has, I don't know, this might be old news, but it's about 98% complete here. They purchased or in the process to go ahead and say, do what you need to do. And that's involving myself and a fellow named Bob McLeod, who's specifically working on that. We're getting a new mat for the BOR, for the front entry, which you come in there. When that's done, a quick calculation, Union Mutual, which I should never forget, they spent over $20,000 on mats in both of these buildings. That's a nice piece of change. I say that because I used that same conversation, if I may, not only is a Union Mutual, but of course, Vermont Mutual, they've had since Moby Dick was a minnow, they have a ice screen over in the BOR. And so and it closed Monday of this week. I just sold a banner to National Life. And, that's like cracking 4 dicks. And I had to go back and forth and talk with a nice lady by the name of Christina DiAgostino or something. Yeah, that's what her name is. And so all the major insurance companies here in central Vermont, if not up in the whole northeastern corridor, are now represented in our buildings here. So I'm very happy with that. I have a suggestion that I'd like for you to give some very serious thought on. When and if, and I don't mean this negatively, but let's just say when the construction is complete over in the auditorium, it's going to be something like 7 to 8 months that we have been unable to hold an event there. We were told months ago that we could not do any event from April 1st until the end of November. Not that we had any schedule, but I think that, and that rumor got out around. What I'm asking is, given that the sponsors in the auditorium for the last 7 months has not had their banner show off. Is there any possibility that we could do a extension of their advertising commitment? And so if something expires in June, we could bump it all the way till November. If I could do that, and send that out to the sponsors, we would make so much goodwill with that. I think it's something that I'd like for you to give some, I don't know if I'm saying it as well as I should, but,
Yeah,
you know,
I don't think that's a bad idea.
It's similar to what we did with COVID and when things shut down a little bit, we
Yeah.
extended, I think for over a year, some of them, didn't we, Jim? I mean, it was a long time that we kind of
yeah,
It was.
extended it out.
well, yeah, there's, the vast majority of the sponsors over in both buildings have spent $10,000 in the last 10 years, $10,000.
Yeah, greatly appreciated.
Yeah, no kidding. So,
I think that's, I think that's something maybe we bring up next meeting in front when we have everyone here. But I think that's reasonable and if, we make a promise to them when we offer, when they rent it, we make a promise that they're gonna have exposure. I think most people just look at it as helping out the facility, but they should get something back and they should have visibility, so. I think that makes some sense.
so, thank you. The next piece, within the next 4 to 5 months, there are approximately 10 sponsors who have sponsored up here for 10 years. Quick math, obviously, that's $10,000. You know the glass plaques that we gave away last year? It cost, we may get a slight discount if in fact, but they're $70 a piece. So 10 times 70 is pretty good math. Is there any way in which this committee, if perhaps we divided that in half, where 5 in the next 30 to 45 days or so, and then come back after that group is done and do the rest of the these are sponsors in both buildings. What do you think of that idea?
So you did glass packs, plaques, for what?
Did you go to Norwich?
I think, that's why I'm an engineer, I can't speak English or spell or anything, so anyways. And,
Try it again.
okay, what did we do the glass plaques for recently in the past?
For the people that had already been a sponsor for 10 years.
Okay, so this is.
So this is like, not catching up, but staying
Yeah,
consistent as the anniversary
Yeah.
dates.
So basically, what we're having is a program that after you've been a sponsor for 10 years, you're gonna get a plaque.
Yes.
Doesn't sound like a problem to me.
Not a problem.
And I mean, I don't know. Huh?
We did it when there were people, we did it last time for people that have been 10 years and now we have people that are coming into that category.
Yeah,
That just makes
I think it's
sense.
a really good idea.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's almost
I
insulting.
don't know why you wanna divide them up, but that's up to you.
Well, I prefer that we don't, but if you do the, there's actually 13 of them here. If we,
$2,100.
That's not a big number.
That's not a big number.
Yeah.
it isn't, it isn't my house.
In
I mean, you're gonna,
Yeah, it's income.
you're gonna deliver them to these customers, is that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, if you get 13 of them, is it gonna take you 13 weeks to deliver them, or? I'm just saying, do whatever you want, if you wanna get them all now, do it,
No, it wouldn't take, no, I would certainly think, because they're all local.
yeah,
And I could deliver 2 or 3 at a time. And I have to tell, I mean, the very first one I delivered was to Brad Ormsby.
Yeah.
And Brad was on this committee here for years and years and years, and he's been a sponsor since Moby Dick was a minimum. I mean, when I walked in with that box and opened it up and down in his business on the very Montpelier Road, both he and his wife were incredibly pleased. Everyone has. The last one I delivered was to Casella Waste over in, whatever, over by the Rotary there, where the Casella plant is. And it was a new guy. He says, oh my God, I've never seen it. But, so yeah, it's nothing but kudos and respect to them coming back to us for, yeah.
So you have 13 people to give plaques to at $70 each.
I do.
So I think that certainly makes sense that we're here. Any objections to that kind of thing? I think we can, we have a quorum here. So we could vote on authorizing 13, or we could just make a motion to, if someone joins the 10-year club, that we can give them a plaque as the standing rule in the future. Is that correct? You would agree?
It is. However, it probably is not gonna happen for a while because I've been doing this for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And most of the sponsors that are in both buildings are in that 10-year period that I made. There weren't, like, when I came way back, I think there was something like 8 banners in the auditorium and 5 or 6 of them, the agreement had expired. But now we have, obviously we have we almost have a full house. We got 2 vacancies in the banners over in, the BOR.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in all the hockey rinks, since my kid played hockey, but you'd go to every rink and there'd be a few banners scattered around. I think this was the only place that, I mean, this is full. That's a really good indication to this, about the city, about what you've done. I think it's really impressive. So I think a 10-year.
It's interesting. It's interesting because I wonder if we've gone a little bit too far over there.
I think it looks great. I think it gives people, I'll speak for myself. We have a banner over there and it makes it feels good to contribute to the community.
Yeah.
I think most people are pretty excited to be part of it.
We're going, Matt that planted the seed months ago about doing something a little more special as you walk into the BOR because, we got the nice mats over here that Union Mutual gave us, and there are there's 5 or 6 of those. The big one out in the main lobby, and then coming in those 3, and then 2 coming up from the locker rooms. It's, lack of a better word, it's classy looking.
Yeah.
So it's okay to go.
I would think that someone would have to bring a motion up. I would suggest that, if you've been
Before you do, excuse me.
Yeah.
I can't give full degree here, but there are 2 of those plaques that are not going to sponsors. They're going to individuals that have been monumental with their time during the basketball tournaments and everything under the sun.
Okay.
And we gave 3 or 4 of them last year, and there are 2 people that will be getting them. I would like to give them 2 this year. I mean, they spend literally hours putting together. They're on they're over there the entire month of March, and they're there when we have the winter solstice and so on and so forth.
Yeah, is that included in 13 or is that?
Yes, it is. They're included in the 13.
13 at 7, we're under $1,000. So I think it's, I think that makes sense. There's plenty of money available. We can, that's not an amount that has to go above this
You
room.
can make that motion, right? You can make that motion, or you can, whatever.
You can't make a motion, but.
Yeah, he can pay it.
I can pay
it, so.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, and so, we could do it 1 or 2 ways. We could, we can make a motion to approve 13 plaques for this, or I think we could also make a motion if people who come up on 10 years, a kind of a standing that they would get a plaque. Does everyone agree that would be?
I think that makes
procedurally
sense,
okay?
yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do it, look at it every year.
Right,
Yeah,
I mean,
Just say here's 2.
we've done 10 years, now this will be another one, is some.
Says sponsors, or you're gonna, sponsors or individuals that have contributed, significantly to events or whatever you wanna call it, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. You're the language guy. Language guys.
You just hear me
Our
talk a
Richard
minute ago?
linguist.
No smart ass on it. Okay, motion that, we authorize the gym to give plaques to, 10-year, long time or 10-year sponsors and other significant people, or people that, contribute to significant events and that type of thing. You
Okay,
got that?
yeah,
Something like that.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Group. Good move, Jim.
I got one question, Jim. The mats from Union Mutual, what's the general dimensions of those? Like how large are
There's one, only
they?
one.
Right, yeah.
And I'm not really sure of the width, but it's gotta be pretty close to 4.5, 5 feet maybe.
Okay,
And it comes from the front door. It's 19 feet, I believe, from the door when you walk into the BOR, right to where the steps are, they go up into the bleachers.
okay, great. Yeah, that'll be really nice.
It will spiff it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's, you know what? It's free.
I got one other question on your, trying to sell the, wrestling tournaments and that sort of thing, to the VPA or whoever the heck it is or whatever. Do we promote the fact that this is technically a neutral facility versus having it in some school's gym or that type of thing? And if we do they like that idea or they don't like that idea?
It's not so much promotion by us.
Yeah,
Us being the Barre Civic Center, vis-a-vis the auditorium, that's all done by the Vermont Principal Association over in Montpelier.
yeah,
They're the ones that decide on where the state playoff, in every single sport,
Yeah,
girls, boys,
right.
everything from field hockey to
Yeah.
softball.
yeah,
They decide that.
But-
And it was, VPA loves the auditorium. I
Right.
mean, look, they've been coming here since forever.
Yeah.
Hell, I played, as I were,
Yeah.
joking with you, but I played here in '63 for heaven's sakes. And they still,
doing the math, how old are you?
you might know, 1 year younger than you, baby. But anyway, it's really nothing that we have to worry about, because that's pretty much all done by the VPA. I will say, however, that there's been with Jeff, with, both these gentlemen here who help out, and ourselves, working with the VPA and with Paula too being there, part of that. We're shaking hands and kissing babies to make sure that we get the VPA on the good side and keep them on, and they love us. VPA love us. I will say this. I don't think it's going to happen, and I mean this seriously. I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime, but I am a little bit nervous because this is just a matter of time. When the University of Vermont gets that new athletic facility, it's not a question of if, it's when. I think you'll see because it's going to hold 5,000 people.
Mhm.
I think you'll see there's a possibility the VPA will go to Burlington instead of coming to Barre. But the thing which could keep it here, and Jeff is about, I think, to make reference to that, we're a whole hell of a lot cheaper than it is going to Patrick right now.
Because everybody that works at Patrick Gymnasium, ticket sellers, concession people.
Yeah.
They have to pay for that. The VPA pays for every bit of that. We're over here, we've got a volunteer group that runs the concessions. We've got all volunteers that work the score table, the ushers, everybody that's working during those games, they're all volunteers. They're not getting paid a cent. UVM is union. Every position in there that's working those games, they have to shell out for.
I mean, I 100%, so, I mean, we're like.
You used to do it years ago. Didn't you help in the tournaments?
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember that right back then. I doubt it, but my point is that, it's gonna be much more expensive out there, no question about that. But also, two things, playing a 5,000 in a 5,000 seat gymnasium, schools between, Williamstown and Northfield or something like that. I mean, there's gonna be like an echo in there, while the whole thing is going on. I mean, the bigger schools, maybe, that like they do now.
1,800. You put 1,800 in a 5,000 seater arena. It's just like what ours said, it's gonna be. One seat every
Yeah,
3, 4 seats are gonna be.
I mean, we're talking about something, I mean, they're not even halfway there. They being UVM
Yeah.
getting the money to build that facility.
whenever they get it and then when it happens, and like you say, it's gonna happen sooner or later. I think that's one drawback from, also, you gotta understand that these colleges, I mean, these facilities, as much as the people that are donating say, well, this is gonna be for the community and everything else, it's also for the school, so if it interferes, anything that interferes with school activities is always. I mean, they tie up this building for 3 weeks, basically,
Well,
up there, can they take 3 weeks chunk out of there?
And it's in March.
Yeah.
If the basketball team makes the playoffs.
Yeah, so I mean,
You could all.
anything can happen, I'm just saying that, I'm hoping and somewhat believe that, it's not gonna change as much.
there's been a change in leadership, as you all know, I'm sure. Been a change in leadership with philosophy at UVM. The gentleman who was there for the last 5 or 6 years is now on the West Coast.
Mhm.
And he made a statement that resonated with a lot of Vermonters. He says, as long as I'm president of Vermont, we will not have a new athletic facility. I'm here to improve upon academics. He's AWOL.
Yeah,
They have a new lady who is in there. She's just the opposite. She's going strong. And just last week, there was an unbelievable, in the Boston Globe, they had photographs, big article about how she is focusing on that new facility and looking to businesses and alumni to.
yeah, oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's gonna get built sooner or later.
And it will be.
How long has it
Yeah.
been?
Huh?
It's been what, 10 years now?
Oh, yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but when it gets built, I think, our asset is a lot of good things, is the price and all these other things that it's being built for UVM to use.
Yeah.
Now, they advertise how the community is gonna use it and that sort of thing, but in the community gonna tie that thing up for 3 weeks in the middle of March, like you're saying? I'm not so sure.
No, we'll offer a different experience,
Yeah.
the shiny new versus the nostalgic of coming in.
Yeah.
So some schools will wanna
And the
come here. some-
location.
The
Yeah.
location,
The
yeah.
location is that, be huge.
Right.
One is up in Chittenden County, because most of the schools are in Chittenden County.
Right, and we obviously don't wanna lose that basketball tournament, but like a winter solstice and, there's opportunities there to have people still come here and play.
Yeah,
So, and I think they'll like that.
that's
They love
coming back, with 6. We have 2 new schools coming, replacing, Montpelier High School and People's Academy that in the Mount Mansfield girls and boys, they're coming back again. That date to be determined, and it might bring St. Johnsbury Academy this year. Just for that piece on UVM for a moment. When they give tours for hopeful visitors, incoming freshmen, they don't even go, part of the tour, they don't even go to the athletic facilities at UVM. That was in the article. Couldn't believe that. One last piece. Next week, I'm traveling over to Stowe. And there is, and please, no giggling in front of Jimmy Mack, because I'm so focused on this. I'm meeting with an owner of a tattoo business in Stowe. He has 5 tattoo artists that work for him. And when we spoke, he was pretty excited about, he thinks that the tattoo convention will go over very, very well. And I gotta tell you, yesterday when I was up at the hospital, the lady who was doing something on me, she had tattoos from her, and I do all the time. When I see people, I said, if we had a tattoo convention at the Barre Auditorium, would you come? I probably have asked 100 people. No one has said no. But here's the problem. It could be such a mammoth task that there's no way in hell we can pull this off Cloudy helps, Paula helps all the time, Bob McLeod helps all the time. Bernie House, there's no way 4 people can pull that thing, cause it would be on a Friday night, all day Saturday from like 10 to 5 or something, Sunday, 10 to 1 or 10 to 2. Somewhere we have to find persons, maybe sitting around this table who might wanna volunteer. I mean, people come in the door, they gotta pay $25 just to walk into the building. Think of that, and they'll do it.
I get it. So what is a tattoo convention? I mean, you just walking around watching people get tattoos or?
Yeah, well,
And they
exactly,
show off their work.
yeah, but, if, I'm just, still, this is not gonna happen for about a year. Next spring, hopefully. But yes, that's basically what it is, and that's why I'm meeting with the gentleman over in Stowe. Let's just take a number. If I do have a number, I'd like to see 20 different tattoo artists come. Each of those artists pay about $250 or $300 to be there. So let's just round things off. There's $6,000 right there just from having the tattoo persons come in. And you set them up with tables, and that's exactly right. People from Barton to Brownington will come in here and they'll pay $25 to get through the front gate. And they go around and watch all the tattooing, which is being done by all of these persons. And a significant percentage, 60 to 70% of the people come down here to get a tattoo during that convention. And you can put snack bars, I mean, because when they're putting a tattoo on, you're bleeding. So they gotta have, some nourishment afterwards. I mean, it's monumental to put it together, but there's just so much revenue that could be.
Is there another tattoo convention anywhere in Vermont at this
Yeah,
time?
there is. There's one in SB. It's down in the hotel on Williston Road. It's Mitsa. St. Albans had one 2 years ago. They did not have it last year. And that's the only ones that I know of. But that's a great question. But to tell you the truth, I don't think you can get enough of them. I mean, people who have tattoos are very much into it. I mean, they don't
I
have.
see them all the time.
Right.
They have tattoos with an S.
Yes,
Yeah.
So.
it's very big.
Huh?
It's very big.
Oh, it's huge.
Have a big one in Manchester every year.
New Hampshire?
Down there.
What? Yeah, it's
Huge.
Is there
Sounds pointy.
a season for getting tattoos?
No. No.
Oh, I mean, I was just looking up, there's Green State Tattoo Convention, that's what was in Burlington. Do you think they'd be willing to just do something on the opposite end? If they're organizing this in Burlington, would they just organize it also here?
That's what I was thinking.
My answer to that, I don't really know, but I would think not. I don't think they would leave Chittenden County.
Well, they may do both, if they do that in August.
I don't want them. If they do that, then it's all their money.
Yeah, that's, which,
Well, but they would pay to, I mean, they would pay for the time.
yeah, they pay the people to run it and so on and so forth.
They rent the building, they pay the vendor fees.
Yeah.
And then they have to take care of manning all the doors. And all the administrative part of it.
I ain't running with that. It's ours or someone else is gonna have to do that. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not here. to Have other people make money. The money we're trying to,
Well,
The
I
revenue-
mean, that's true, but like there are other organizations that host events here, like the gun show or whatever,
Right.
they do all
Yeah.
that stuff. We don't, I mean, from my
good
understanding,
point, good point.
like they do the parking, they do the.
Right.
And, entry fee and all that kind of
Right,
stuff.
well, we're preliminary discussions on it. I think it's a great idea. I think it'd be well attended.
Oh,
People are so passionate about that. I don't have one, but people that have tattoos are all about it. So I think it would be a great event, well attended, good money maker. We'd all have to get tattoos.
Can we believe you don't have one?
Don't wanna know.
You wanna take one on this table?
I won't show you this one.
There are a few tables, I think, in Vermont, I like that.
Yes,
That's,
yes. So we actually did that, I think, a few months ago. We asked, someone had one here. I don't remember who it was.
Jimmy Mack does.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can get another one after the show for free.
That's a guy I know.
Personally,
We'll leave
And
the
I
money up the month
gotta
for
tell
it.
you, when I came home from working, I was working and living in Brooklyn then. And I came home that weekend and my wife saw it, she was just freezed up. It was not a pleasant weekend. I was awful happy to get back on the plane Monday morning and fly down to Brooklyn and be gone for a week because,
But
oh
like,
geez.
it's cooled down, huh?
And you should have asked, what was it? No offense here, Paula, but what is you should have asked me. You violated me. That's like, when that was like 2000, it wasn't like, that was 2004, cause it's a Red Sox tattoo. And that's the year they
And
won.
you went to
the
New
World
York with
Series.
that on?
What?
You went to New York, back to New York with that on?
Yes,
Jesus.
I got it in downtown Brooklyn, New York, the day after they won the World Series.
I was surprised I didn't misspell it.
My administrative assistant down there, she had like about 20, I said, she said, well, come with me. We went right downtown in Brooklyn where she gets hers. And I just said to, I think it was a man, I said, no messing this up. This is what you. But
Surprised you didn't throw you out when you asked for a Boston tattoo.
money.
Yeah, so interesting. I think it's got a lot of potential.
No, I think it's a great idea, but I kinda gotta agree with Matt, if there's an organization. I mean, I'm all for making money for this place, absolutely. And they would pay the rental fees and that sort of thing, but also the good thing is if it brings people into the area, that's one of the things that we're, trying to do.
Yeah.
For the community and that sort of thing, so.
It'd also be a different demographic coming in here, versus the basketball tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
Whole new group of people coming up here.
Yeah.
To see this place.
Well, we got there, in a way, you got there with a gun show, because,
Yes.
you've seen some of the people, I've been up here
Yes.
when they first opened on a Saturday morning, and you got guys coming in carrying guns in, and all kinds of different people.
Yeah.
Just,
But then they're handling the door, they're handling the whole setup and everything, it's just, all we are is the renter, period. We don't have to do all that stuff,
We take care of the bathrooms and make sure the lights stay on.
that's it.
Yeah.
We can do that with one person.
well, that discussion can evolve.
Yeah.
But it's, I think it's a great
That's,
idea.
it definitely is a good idea. I mean, there's at least a couple of tattoo places here in town
Yeah,
that.
There's
I know-
four.
Huh?
There's
Four.
actually 5 now.
If they, would they, as a group, consider running, an event like that?
Well, I don't know, I've never asked, but
Yeah.
my intuition would say, no way.
Okay.
It's like Charlie just said, it's a tremendous undertaking.
Oh, well, I understand that part, but maybe it's good for their business or whatever. I mean, the gun club does it for a reason and.
it would have.
Well, because they also got like, I don't know, I haven't been to the gun show for years and years, but I'm assuming there's probably double digit members of the gun club that are up here running this thing for me. Yeah,
They have a lot of people involved.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
maybe that'd be a resource, a local resource. That would be a good place to pull people from. Maybe the owners or people that are involved with those shops would come volunteers for us.
Just so I understand, backing up. Do I have? I'll use the word permission, or may I write email blasts to the sponsors in the auditorium saying that with the construction that's scheduled from April to November, this 7-month period, we are complimenting your
That would take a vote and, we could certainly, if someone wants to make a motion, do we have to have a discussion on that? Or are people for that or against that? Does anyone have any opposition to that?
I don't have any opposition. I would just round it off to 6 months, I would say, because of a 6-month downtime in the auditorium, or suspending your payments or however you wanna term it. Till November when it's been running again or whatever. So you're delaying. In other words.
We're extending their rental agreement, basically.
Okay,
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is.
so if somebody has a rental agreement that they sign, I think how this works out in April. Then they
No,
won't.
they have an anniversary date in April.
Yeah. They won't get
Well,
it.
right now, let's stay with the month. They have an anniversary date in August.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
rather than having me sending out you know,
Yeah.
notifications vis-a-vis telephone or notes or emails, whatever. I would send a email to everybody who advertises in the event.
Yeah.
That the, use us right here, the committee has, I'm not sure how I'm gonna say it, but the committee has voted to give a complimentary extension for the last 6 or 7 months due to the construction. So your anniversary date changes from August 1st to 6 months from August, February 1st, something like that.
Yeah, I think we're sticking with 6 months to make it easy.
Yeah,
So,
and,
go ahead.
you know, and don't forget, I mean, this, I'm sorry I'm taking so much time,
Let's take,
but, I'm not even sure I want to say this, but hell, I'll be gone by then. You're probably gonna be doing something similar, or could be doing something similar to BOR. But they're going to be digging up the floor and putting in new pipes and so on and so forth. That's gonna be another 6-month task. And I think if you do it here, you gotta do it there.
you would, but we also have done that before.
But most of the people, a lot of people who advertise here in the odd from over here. Right now, there's only, and by the way, there's only 2 openings in both buildings, and they're both in the BOR, and they're both banners.
So somebody that does it in both buildings, you're doing it for the auditorium. I'm not against anything, I'm just trying to ask the question, they're doing it for the auditorium. Are they gonna pay half their bill or they're getting extended for both buildings?
Oh, no, just half. Just the auditorium.
Okay, so they pay, okay, so there's a fee for the auditorium, there's a fee for the BOR.
Right.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, what am I trying to think of?
Doesn't make a difference who,
Yeah.
I mean, just saying, okay, that's all.
Well, John, Elton Jackman, they're in both.
Yeah,
And if you're in both, you pay $1,500. One option is $1,500, or you get a 3-year option for $4,000.
So a single banner in here is what per year?
There's 2 different pricings.
Okay.
And that's something that Jeff and I talked about when I first started. If this is the auditorium floor, where you're sitting is a basket, where Tom is sitting is the other basket, those banners at the ends, those are $1,000 a piece every year.
Yeah.
And the ones which are in the deep corners are $500 because they don't get as much exposure.
Right, which makes sense. And now roughly how many banners are up in the odd?
You know what? I have never counted, but
Right.
probably I'm gonna say, how many, 30, 35?
How many windows are there?
There's 5 windows? 6 windows.
6, I think. A lot.
So there's 3 in each window.
There's 6 windows and there's 3 per window.
Yeah.
there's only 6 windows, I mean, that are boarded up. I don't know, on both ends, it could be more than 6, I don't know.
Well, it's 6 on a side, so you got 12, so you got 36 banners.
Yeah.
In the windows.
Yeah, there you go,
And then you got another 12 on the sides, I
Yeah.
guess.
48, give or take.
There's no more space over there.
Right.
The
That's
other
a
B,
significant amount of money, you know, that extension would be a significant
I just,
amount of money.
I guess I'm thinking you wanna make sure that whoever you're sending this letter to understands that, you know, if you owe $1,500, you're only gonna have to pay $750 now, or I don't know. how you-
It wouldn't work like that. They've already been paid for. So instead of coming up in, you know, February, you'd be having, you know, you get 6 more months and so you'd get 6 months for free. And we wouldn't be generating revenue for that. Is that a fair statement? They're paid for, or they paying
it's
for?
kind of it's almost a fair statement to Art's point. Like, let's use John's place, the business.
Yeah.
They're in both.
Right,
So they're gonna get an extension, over here
right,
for, 6 months, but they pay full boat over there. So it's gonna involve a little calculating, a little extra work from
That's-
Jimmy Mack here, but I have a listing of everybody's anniversary date, and that would be pretty simple to.
but I mean, I assuming John's anniversary date is the same now for both buildings.
Correct.
So, and going forward for the next umpteen years, he's gonna have 2 anniversary dates.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's what I'm just trying
so
to,
it's another reason for Jim to get a raise, see, it's just more time and work going into it.
We'll double
For the
your
ones
pay.
that are in both buildings, you could just give them a 3 month. Extension in both buildings. That's still 6 months.
Yeah.
Just to make
Right.
Jim's life a lot easier than
That-
having two separate.
Not only
anniversary
Jim, I'm
dates.
talking about the customer too. So,
Right, makes it easy for them too.
yeah, they know what's going on. That's kind of why I'm asking the question.
There's ways to do that. You could you could apply 3 months here to 3 months over there, something like that. That would be in the details of it. As a general principle, no one's using that facility. There are no shows for 6 months. So, their sponsors are not getting any benefit out of having that banner hang for 6 months.
Right,
So,
exactly.
know,
That's why the
right, most
proposals
of them
are
are
on the
probably
table.
okay with that, but it could cause some ill will with some of them on that front. So, we've had a discussion. Does anyone have any more points to bring up or raise on that one? I mean, we are forfeiting 30 banners that, for half a year would be $500. So, it's
That's 18.
right. So it's it's a significant amount of money. But it also has some good logic. So does anyone have any points regarding that? And then we can make a motion for it. Does anyone bring anything else up?
Can I make one more point?
Yeah.
If you decide to do it, it's a tremendous amount of goodwill to every single one of the sponsors. So much so that I don't see sponsors for a good amount of time dropping the sponsorship in either building. It's a huge, huge PR move.
Oh, I don't know about
Any objection from the city or from facilities on that one?
Yeah, it only makes
I think it's
sense.
a good idea.
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So can someone make a motion? The linguist again?
I'm not into it. Make the motion.
Can someone make a motion and bring it to the table?
We suspend payments for 6 months for the auditorium rentals, or not rentals, the auditorium sponsors.
Yeah,
You're suspending. Is that how you want to term it?
I would put extension.
Extend it instead of
Extend it
suspending?
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a
Do
linguist. You guys
construction.
got- I'm not a linguist. You guys gotta help me
No,
out.
I gotta write it down.
I
right?
wish I could have gone to Norwich University.
Fine.
There's two of them right there, as a matter of fact. I'm sorry, man.
You're right.
And he's not a nice guy, I'm telling you some days.
So I was gonna give 6 months extension due to construction to all sponsors in the out, right? That's what we want.
Okay, all in favor?
And
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed.
I just thought and I'm gonna work on a memo. It's gonna take a couple of weeks to get that done and redone. Wouldn't it make sense? I'll send it to everyone on the committee, just except Sue. I'll send it to everybody around the commit, sorry, Sue, around the committee, just for you to sign off on it. Or not sign off on, just, yeah, Jim, this is okay, or no, Jim, you ought to change this. Don't you think would you like to see the memo?
Just so
Before it goes
everybody,
out?
just so everybody can see it before you send it.
Yeah, that's right. Make sense?
I'm gonna trust you, but yeah, that's okay.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Don't
be looking for it for a while, but it'll, be done
Yeah.
this month, be done in July.
Yeah, I think it's a good.
What's today's date? July
I
what?
set my alarm, okay,
July 8th.
8th or so? It'll be done this month.
that's fine.
Okay, good. I think that's a good move. You got anything else to add to this discussion?
I've been talking for 20 minutes.
yeah,
That's more than I have for the last year.
Yes. Any questions for Jim?
I'm gonna need that.
Okay, excellent. A lot of good things happening, Jim. Next item up, and we're fine on time. Tom, your staff report?
I will not take 20 minutes.
Yes.
We got the pool up and running. It's doing well.
Good.
Very well attended to. The public safety rooftop units are scheduled to go in August. That will be the last 4. Placing those units that are 20+ years old.
Yep.
Yeah. We had a discussion about long-term rental for a couple of rooms up here to a radio station.
No,
They're gonna put a studio in the room next door and then looking at repair office space over here, so they're looking at renting 2 rooms. And also putting in a repeater antenna. Like that one's pretty much almost set, but we're gonna be able to do that one. They're still negotiating about the.
What kind of radio station?
I don't know, they're out of Goddard right now. They're getting pushed out of there.
Talk show, music?
I thought they were looking at a place on Main Street. They were for a while, when they said they were moving out of Plainfield.
Yeah, I don't, they had 2 or 3 other locations they were looking at.
Right.
So you're talking about this room on the end hasn't been used?
Right, that
So-
one, that one.
In the ceiling of that room, there's all the wires, all the stuff that comes from a ham radio antenna on the auditorium, which was paid for the state, first response, whatever they are. So I don't know if they still plan on using that, if there's, an
So
event.
We had, where we're gonna put the. An additional emergency dispatch center. In that room. But that's kinda. If that pushes stop, decided,
Yeah,
so. So, like, we got those 2 coming in.
Is there any sort of conflict with their content in the city building and what they're broadcasting?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, they have to follow the
city
FCC
city
guidelines.
attorney should be looking at that anyway, if we're renting to, someone that's not affiliated with the city itself, city attorney should be looking at that.
That's about my pay grade.
Yeah.
That's the manager.
That could be,
Or the next manager.
that could be you.
No.
Yeah.
I leave that to the other bears.
The long-term rental, I think would be great. The funds would be good,
Yeah, it was gonna be
monthly income.
a nice number.
Yeah, okay.
I said that, and then, so with the odd plans being shipped out, now we're gonna focus on. City Hall.
Yeah.
With a big part of that one, again, with new windows and insulating up in the roof. For heat loss. So these are the 2 big.
Okay, so the drawings for this facility are done, the city hall drawings are not.
The City Hall drawings, I believe, are done.
Okay.
We just gotta work on the numbers now about. Insulating, and that money is already available. That's a different grant. So that work will probably get started here soon. We have to schedule that with the Opera House. Cause a lot of that work happens above the stage.
Yep.
So the windows in City Hall are all gonna get replaced?
No,
Okay.
if on the back side. Where the. Opera House renovation. That all the way around
The parking
Prospect,
lot, the parking
the
lot.
parking lot side.
Yeah.
Around the corner of Prospect Street. And I believe the front windows for the clerk's office. I believe they all get new sashes put in them. The ones in the.
Yeah.
The ones in the planning office and the old PD are much newer.
So
So
when
those,
you,
I believe, just get caught. Sorry, I
you
understand.
say new sashes, that's physical, a new physical window frame.
No,
The
Same.
frame stays,
just a sash.
if you get the sash and new liners,
Sash, define it.
Sash is just
the window units,
just the middle part that goes up and
the
down.
glass parts that go up and
The
down.
outside doesn't gonna get replaced.
The outside doesn't,
Yeah, the frame itself that holds the windows in,
Yeah.
that doesn't get replaced. It's just the windows are getting replaced.
and the frames are that good.
That's what
Well,
it says.
unless they're rotten, then you repair them.
They have to be the same thing.
Right,
Yeah.
you'd have to repair them, but it makes it. Historic preservation is much happier with just sash replacements than replacing the whole window.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But the sash replacement is gonna be double or triple pane windows or? whatever it is.
Yeah. You can do that. You don't have to replace it with the same, you are allowed to do upgrades.
Crappy single pane windows.
Yeah. Good, yeah, but you can upgrade them, but they really want the exterior look
The
to
same.
stay historic.
Which is fine, and then you repair the damaged portions as it goes.
Right.
What about the interior look? Is that gonna stay the same? When you say the frame on the interior?
Well,
Probably.
they'll paint it or stain it the best, or whatever's
Yeah,
inside.
you wanna keep
You gonna take
that,
all that lead paint off there?
Well, no, they'll leave that, they'll just gonna replace in the sashes
Yeah.
and it's just, yeah, it's not, it's simpler to change it, probably.
and it's a lot easier, quicker and cheaper,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of that.
change out the whole frame.
Yeah, I'm sure of
Can I ask, Brent, what do you do when you're on a painting job? And it's, the paint is lead paint, and you clean it all off? What do you do with that
Can you add?
lead paint flakes or
that. He'd
whatever?
have to kill you. He tells you he's gonna have to kill you.
The camera off?
Exactly. Then you're supposed to bag it.
He'll tell you after. I mean,
Right. You gotta bag it and.
I go back to my office, I guess, it's just,
Yeah, so Tom, I got one question on this whole project, everything costs more than often what they say it's gonna cost. Is there a contingency fund that, oh man, that portion took more, that portion took more, that portion took more, we have contingency that we're gonna pay for it? Or are they gonna just take scope out?
Right now, we're probably gonna taking scope out because all we have left is what's left in the Civic Center Improvement Fund, which is, I believe, about 75 to 80
So
thousand.
your budget doesn't include any sort of contingency fund on it?
No, not once it came out.
Yeah.
We have to replace a lot more scope than what we cut
Right.
already.
Right, alright, so that's,
And what we have in scope is left is what is written into the grants.
right,
So we're gonna complete the grants. And which is, I'd like to finish a job completely instead of,
right, understood. But, if they've missed something, or if they're saying it's gonna be 100 grand, it's 130 grand. And we're over.
we're over, like I said, I've got a
cutting
little bit,
scope.
we've got a little bit in that Civic Center Improvement Fund, which has at least the 70.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not for down there, you're talking for down there, you're talking.
I'm just talking
He's talking
about
the whole thing.
project.
Down there, it's got 250 from the Merc grant,
Right,
and that's what we have to work with.
and they're updating,
That's- What's that?
they're updating you on the budget and when if they're
Yeah,
adhering to it or.
That one, that budget line looks good. We're inside that 250. And that will just adjust by scope, like how much spray foam we put around in the attic. Instead of 6 inches, we may have to go with 3 inches.
That's if we can find some more monies, the city hall can find some money somehow. So, okay, well, that's just something to watch, cause a lot of these
We're
times.
keeping a
people,
very close eye on that.
Yeah,
Because
if they're way over budget, that would significantly impact what we could do. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome,
they're well aware of it.
okay, do you have anything else?
No, other than that, we're. The horse I brought up before, patching the roof over at the BOR,
Yeah,
so that might be, again. That's due for replacement in this fiscal year.
right,
$600,000.
yes,
The floor could be coming anytime.
Can we get that
1.2,
fixed
so we're looking close to $2 million
into that
building
right,
with no visible improvement to anything.
have we have the floor been fixed?
The floor is gonna be fixed here the next month or so.
Okay.
What's wrong with the floor?
the tubes.
There was a,
I know there was that incident at the end of the hockey season.
That's what.
right, that's.
All right, that's what it is. Okay, got it.
We put a temporary patch in, we didn't have enough glycol to,
There's nothing beyond that underneath that you know of, that's right.
That's you're playing with fire now, cause you keep.
it's gonna keep, repairing, every time we repair it, it splits a little more, like trying to find
Yeah.
the end of the
Right,
line.
yeah, I remember all
Right.
that.
then they don't know how the tubes are under the floor. Those are,
The option there is you either plug that tube off
right,
and you'll get a
freezing.
discolored line in your ice. Or you chip the floor back till you get to good stuff,
Right.
or you replace the whole thing, right?
Right. Chip it as long as you can. So you have to bite the bullet.
Yeah, so that's why I just wanna make sure.
Is any of that approved? Is the building, the roof?
The roof is in
the
the
budget?
capital improvement plan
Right,
for this year.
right,
The floor, we haven't done anything with that.
right,
Yeah.
right. So the roof
That-
is getting fixed.
That we have the
Here.
money set aside for the roof.
Right.
If they were to fix the roof and you need to tear up the floor, are you gonna be able to do that? Like, get in the building and take care of all that? Like, is that feasible?
Well, we won't be able to tear the floor up this year.
Right. But
That's a full construction season. But you can conceivably do both at the same time because they're different parts of the building.
I'm just thinking about tearing up the floor, you're carrying out pieces of concrete one at a time out the door, that seems,
Well, no, we'll drive a truck in.
yeah, okay.
You got an
Yeah,
overhead door on both ends.
Jackhammer, yeah, bring that.
He'll go in there,
They're just gonna saw it up in chunks and.
saw it up or an excavator with a hammer.
That's not a big.
They'd be independent projects. There's no, there
Yeah,
wouldn't be any
but
advantage in doing both.
you know, just wanted to point out, it's, $2 million into that building.
You're gonna have,
No improvement to services.
Right.
And,
That's right.
I mean, so that being said, I mean, we just invested, I mean, we're still paying for the turf. Like, we have brand new turf in there, and it's getting more use this summer, from what I can tell. At
A
least,
little tiny bit, yeah.
at least for us, you know, using it. One thing that would be really nice is some airflow in there. I mean, this past week was rough, and especially by the time when people are using it, they get in there at 5 or 6. You know, after it's been baking all day in the sun, and then it's just stagnant hot air in there. You know, any kind of fans up at,
A couple big fans on
We've got
either
some
end.
air
You got the
intakes.
air handlers on that back end.
That back
If you
end,
turn those
Turn them
on,
on, you're sucking warm air in.
yeah, you're sucking it in, but the vents on this end are
Everything's
supposed to
hot.
open when those go on and just blow that air through.
if there is any, I mean, I have an event there tonight, for
We could
example.
probably turn them on.
Right.
When
Yeah.
we ready to go home
Right,
and
I know for our building, we turn our fans on at night, suck all the hot air, and then during the day, we shut everything down and it just stays cool. You know, there's so much mass there with concrete that it would cool it down significantly during the day. You can't run, like right now, if you turned them on, it would get worse probably.
yeah.
So that's just one thing, is like airflow in there is challenging in the summer. We have the turf, I think that would be a deterrent if someone went there for the first time and it's hot and super humid in there. They're less likely to rent again, I guess, from my experience.
Yeah. That was a pretty extreme week.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been doing this every summer in there since the
Yeah.
turf has been in there. And it's been an issue,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would definitely say turn on the vents at night, bring the cold air, and that would help you a little bit.
Yeah,
You're at the end of the day, so you can do some of it. It's not insulated.
The two smaller fans below those big air handlers, those bring air in. And the air handlers up above they'll take it out, or maybe it's vice
It's
versa.
vice versa.
The
two
smaller
lower
ones, yeah, the smaller ones are exhaust. But if you turn those air handlers on at night,
Yeah, it should,
it'll pull some of that cold air in,
if it's cold.
if it's cold,
Yeah.
but.
yeah.
No, it's been
Well, it'll be cooler than
Yeah.
what it is in.
Yeah, I was in there yesterday in 75.
So that was one thing just from using it. I will say the bleachers were painted and that looks really nice. I mean, you guys probably haven't been in there, but I think that'll look really nice for hockey seasons, painted in Spalding colors. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It has been, or going to be.
Yeah,
It's done.
they're nice. You
We
should
took the
take a
paint.
look.
Paint colors that are on the wall and just extended it right around.
Great,
Yeah.
excellent.
One last thing, I was just wondering, have there been issues with like people getting into the VOR? They're not supposed to be. Like, issues with entering and.
Just people with keys.
Yeah, well, that's it, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was getting at. you know, we've been in the BOR for a few years now and like. There's been turnover with staff, you know, we've had Tom for the past couple of years, we had Michelle recently handling all this. You know, we have some stuff that we're storing in one of those closets. We go up on a Wednesday night, play games in Essex and then drive back and it's Wednesday evening pretty late and we go in and put our stuff in the closet. We've been doing that for years and then we did it a couple weeks ago. And, you know, the city manager came, Michelle came, and the police were called. And it's just kind of, I don't know.
They did that, Michelle, they did that because they didn't know you were gonna be there.
Right, well,
And they didn't see you,
right,
they saw the other guy. And they didn't know what was going on. Once it
So-
got sorted out,
Who called the cops? Was there somebody in there
no,
when you came back or?
no,
my,
his partner.
yeah, the director of the nonprofit, Woodchuck Lacrosse was there. So I think Michelle was working here late, just happened to see.
Oh,
some.
She saw someone in there, didn't know who it was, called the manager, called the cops. When they got here, they went in and talked to them because someone was parked right in front of the BOR when she was getting ready to leave.
Right.
And she wasn't going in there by herself.
It was communicated to us at the time that, okay, like, we're paying more attention to this because there have been issues with. People entering without permission. I was just curious about an issue, and I know we've talked about, you know. Updating or upgrading the locking system or permission to use and get in.
And two, it's just a matter of, let us know if you're gonna be dropping stuff off. Let us know, and then we can, then when somebody leaves, they go, oh, that's who that is. We know that Wednesday nights or Saturday nights or whenever, if someone's over there at 9 o'clock, it's like, oh, Matt's dropping off his equipment.
And you were able to get in because you had the key.
Right.
Is that the deal? Right, and there, we don't know who has keys right now.
Yeah, we've have he's got the BYSA.
Right.
Lacrosse key that we gave out.
Right.
We got
Yeah,
a pretty
that's it.
good idea who has keys now.
Right.
It's,
Right, although they can be copied and,
they're not easily copied, but yes, you can copy them, but they're not easily copied.
Did we ever replace the lock system on one door?
on that. You know, I think it's a great idea, you know, then everyone has a code and you can, you know, you can see who, you know, if they had a code, you know. When they type it in, I'm sure it goes up into the web or whatever, and then you say, oh,
It
who
depends,
logged-
yeah,
who
it
logged
depends
in?
on what level of
Right.
lock you
Right,
get.
but if, you know, the lacrosse program had their program, and, you know, you type it in, it would say, oh, the lacrosse program just entered the building. You know, I think that's a good idea. But
Yeah,
I
Didn't
don't
we,
think
didn't
that's,
we approve money to change the lock on one door?
Yes, we did.
I think we did, I don't think it's happened. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea, I think it, you know, would make some sense to get rid of the keys and go something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Right. But then as to what level do you wanna do it? You know, we were talking like a basic level, just get one keypad,
yeah,
One
just
door.
one door that, I
which is
mean,
all you need. to
once you
access
get
it.
in, you can, if you need to open an overhead door or something like that, you can do it, I guess, or a
Yeah,
second door. or
I mean,
whatever.
the facility, you know, we rent Essex all the time and they have a doorbell and a camera. That
Right,
the manager that can answer from anywhere.
Yep.
And he could let us in remotely, you know.
Yep.
Within 30 seconds.
No.
But yeah, I mean. Like I said, we've just been using the BOR for a few years now and through turnover and we haven't had that kind of issues and like. It only makes sense that we communicate that ahead of time, you know, but I was just wondering if it was like a pattern of something.
No, we did have an issue with someone getting in the building downstairs. While we had people in the building. Someone
Yeah, Jeff.
got,
What?
Came in through the cold chute.
That was 1976, 75.
Well, let me ask you, are you against not purchasing a lock system for one door?
it's depends on. The lock system, cause if you can get those. Standalone ones. But is it gonna be networkable afterwards? If you decide to expand that system,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, you can get the little one, a standalone cheap one that you probably have to either
Right.
punch the code in manually to
Right.
change it, or Plug in.
Did GW Locks look at that and give us a budget, a price on?
they can, them or
Someone did.
the sec.
I think John did, I think John looked into it.
Yeah.
John looked into it on his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was some other company, like I have one in my shop. And I can put up to 100 people in there and I know exactly who's out and I can take them right out in an instant.
how much did that cost you? Just curious.
I don't know, $300-400, but that's a deadbolt one too, so there's different locking system over there, but it's all works off the
I
Wi-Fi.
mean, I thought we approved the money to do a certain level of lock system or whatever.
We did, yeah.
What that was, I can't remember or whatever, but, and I thought
That just hasn't percolated to the top of my list yet, Art.
okay, all right, so that's okay.
Yeah, I think personally, I think it's a good idea and
But it potentially could happen eventually.
It could.
Yeah, okay, so he doesn't get arrested.
yeah.
He tells me he's not getting arrested.
Did you bail Ian out?
If you're gonna break in, you're not gonna park in front of the building, is my
Yeah.
understanding too, because.
I understand your key opens this door and it's easiest to park there, but.
As long as you're gonna bail him out, I'm okay.
Yes.
If he'd been mad, they would have known who he was.
I've had to bail employees out of jail in the past, so I don't
Yeah.
have experience.
I don't have it. All right, Tom, do you have anything else? Any questions? for
Can I
Tom?
ask someone? So up at the pool, do you still have that security system at the pool?
The camera system?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and see what they have up there is everybody like the maintenance people, the lifeguards. It's just a normal key lock, but there's an alarm system inside. And once you go in,
You've
you
got,
got 30
30
seconds to
seconds.
punch in your code.
gotcha.
Or it rings down to, it rings up in
Dispatch.
Maine to the company, the security company, it rings down and
They go
dispatch.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
call
mean,
the other baker.
I mean, I'm not recommending any particular system, I just like to get one,
Right.
whatever works best for.
No, but I was just curious if they still had that, because we've had issues up there in the past where
Yeah,
someone will get in the middle of the night and the alarm will go off and, you know, they'll go running like hell, but.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, which is the point of
We
it.
had,
Yeah.
we had people jumping the fence last year. They
Yeah.
didn't break into the building, but they jumped the fence and they threw some stuff in the pool.
Yeah. Were they able to get anything off the cameras?
The kid knew where the camera was. He turned his flashlight on his phone and
Another inside job.
killed the night vision on the camera.
Huh? Educated punk.
It's almost as bad as going down a coal chute.
Who come up with the idea of the mural painted on the side of the building?
That was Michelle's camp from last week. She
That was
had
great.
a splash into art camp
Yeah.
last week.
That's
They
great,
put that mural on the side of the building.
good job.
Looks nice. They,
Done a good job with running programs with us.
she
Very
put
good
in
job.
an insane amount of hours last week.
Yeah, she's doing a tremendous job.
I'm gonna guess 60 hours last week or better
Yep,
in that heat.
yep, that happens. All right, any questions for Tom? Any other questions for Tom? Okay, let's adjourn.
Okay.
Would.